Hey, what's up, people? Welcome back to another podcast. And yes, Nick isn't in the building this week because he has personal, or I should say, family problems that are going on. And I didn't want to pull him away from making him do a podcast when he has his situation going on. And Nick, hopefully everything gets better with you and you feel good and you're back on the podcast next week or when everything gets better for you. And with that being said, McDonald's employees fired for paying firefighter bill. Okay, it says a former McDonald's restaurant employee in Olean, New York says she was fired after picking up the tabs for several local fire departments. Last week, Heather, 23, paid an $83 bill for an order by several local fire departments who were working to put out a house fire in the area in sub-zero temperatures. WIVB-TV Buffalo, New York reports. It says, just because I approached everything they do, or I appreciate everything they do, said Heather, a single mom and a 8-year McDonald's employee. Later in the day, another group of fire department came into her McDonald's and ordered $70 worth of food. Heather called her boss to ask if the company could cover the cost, she said. However, Heather said she was told no by the store owner and again by the corporate office. So she and several workers decided to pay for the fire department's food out of pocket. When the word spread that Heather had paid the bill, fired. Okay, she was told she was let go because she swore, but it was not implied to anybody, she said. So, is it ridiculous that this chick who's been an employee, it says for 8 years in McDonald's, wants to do a good deed and give back to the fire department that saves people's lives? You know, I think it's a cool thing that this chick gave back to her community, gave back to the fire department, because the fire department, they bust their ass and they put their life on the line every single day. My girlfriend, for example, she works with the fire department and she goes out to these major car wrecks, and I think someone would, if they gave her a little money to buy, and they said, hey, you're going into Taco Bell, and they bought her some tacos, she's probably going to appreciate that, because it's like this. When the military comes back and you give somebody, and you buy like a military dude lunch, he appreciates that because you're showing your gratitude towards these people who put their ass on the line day in and day out. I don't know how it would be to be a fire department. And I think what this lady's getting fired for is ridiculous. Just because she wanted to pretty much, what you want to do is pretty much pay for these fire department just because they do a hard work. And it says they were fighting fires in sub-zero temperature, so they're outside fighting house fires in like minus degrees. And I know New York, it's really cold this time of year, so do I really think it's a wrong thing that this girl basically got fired? It says she got fired for swearing, and it says, I did say this is freaking ridiculous, and freaking ridiculous is not a bad word in my mind. Who's going to tell me straight up that freaking is a ridiculous ridiculous bad word? It isn't. But I guess if you're talking to a boss, they can take it as you're being disrespectful. But if she has been an 8-year employee busting her ass at McDonald's, I mean, is she a lifer? Is this her career? I mean, you got to give the girl balls for saying okay. And it does say her and other employees helped out by paying for this firefighters to get served, because it's weird. It says they do give police officers free meals, but they don't give fire department. That doesn't make sense because they both do the same job. I think a fire department does way more hard work than what an officer does. Next story, and it goes like this. A Denver police are looking for a man who stole sandwiches and left his wallet behind. Wait, he stole a sandwich?
Must be a fat cow.
Police in Denver, Colorado were looking for a man who allegedly stole sandwiches from a 7-Eleven store and threatened employees before leaving without his wallet. The thief happened February 11th at a 7-Eleven store downtown Denver, Colorado. Denver TV reports police said the suspect is identified as a resident, 29 years old, walked into the store, took a sandwich, and threatened workers with a knife and left. However, he allegedly dropped his wallet in the process. We were able to identify him with the ID. Why would you steal a sandwich and then threaten employees, and then at the end you dropped your fucking wallet so they know who you are, you idiot? If it says in the wallet John Smith, and they look your name up and it says you live in Jacksonville, Florida, and they have you on camera, dude, you're basically gotta give it up. Because, and what comes through someone's mind that you gotta go into 7-Eleven and steal a sandwich? Yeah, 7-Eleven sandwiches aren't that great. I mean, you didn't steal any money. You didn't steal like anything valuable. You just went in there and stole a sandwich. I mean, were you that hungry? I mean, you could have went home and ate at your dad's house. It says you went by your dad's house and told him you're skipping town. I mean, seriously? Who goes around stealing sandwiches? I don't see what the whole big deal is about stealing sandwiches, but that's just my opinion. It sounds like a really weird situation. Someone stealing sandwiches. Oh, stupid ad. The world's biggest selfie. 400 people gather for Detroit's largest selfie. More than 400 Detroit residents gathered at the Detroit Institute of Art to take a selfie as part of a series of events called Detroit Week. Organizers say the event, which took place at 10 a.m. Wednesday, was billed as Detroit's largest selfie. A photographer stood atop a 10-foot ladder to take the picture of the group, who posed with their smartphones as if taking self-portraits. Damn. Is this going on Instagram? I want to see this picture. The article doesn't even show the picture. 400 people. Is that in the Guinness World Record now? 400 people took a selfie? I mean, honestly, guys, it's weird when people... Now, I never understood the whole selfie thing. I don't even know where the whole selfie thing came from, because I'll put it like this. I understand what a selfie is, but do people take selfies on point-and-shoot cameras like this? Click. I don't think so. I don't know why. And that's even in the dictionary now, selfie. Is it because people have front-facing cameras on their phones? That's why they take selfies? I don't know, man, but it just doesn't make sense. It's kind of crazy. 400 people gathered just to take a selfie at this art institute. But with that being said, guys, let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Do you think the lady from McDonald's should have been fired? Do you think the 400 people who gather for a selfie is unique? And do you think the dude who was stealing sandwiches needs to step his game up and turn himself in? I don't steal. I don't know anybody who does. And That's just my opinion. I don't steal for anything. Oh, and I want to say this. I'm on Google Plus right now, and I'm looking up the NDFX. He writes, "I fucking love this track by Wax. It's called Out of My Mind, and it's an acoustic piece. You guys should check it out. I'll put a link in the description box if you guys don't know who Wax is. He's this up and coming hip hop. I don't even know how you classify the dude, because he does sometimes hip hop, sometimes acoustic guitar work, sometimes he does like punk rock. So I'll put a link in the description box. He's this dude who's been making YouTube videos for a long time, and he allegedly got signed to a record contract, and then the record company didn't know how to market this dude. Really, they didn't know how to market him, because they said some of your songs weren't radio friendly, some of your songs were catchy but not radio friendly. So now he's doing the independent route, and just, you gotta check the dude out. I mean, you gotta listen to a song. I think it's called There's No More Heroes. That is a really good song. It has like a really old 1950s feel, but with rap. And I just got an email. So with that being said, you guys gotta check that dude out. He's fucking phenomenal. He's just a beast when it comes to his craft. A lot of people have said he's almost on the level of Eminem. They say he's similar to Eminem. I don't see the comparison to Eminem. I guess it's because he's a white dude, and all white rappers are compared to Eminem, I guess. If I started rapping, dude, you're trying to be the next Eminem? I'd be like, no, I'm trying to be the next ICP. Oh, ICP versus Eminem. You know? But that's just my thing, guys. You gotta realize that not every guy that raps is white wants to be the next Eminem, or next black guy wants to be the next Tupac. I don't get it. If you're a black dude and you rap, you're not like, oh my god, you're trying to be the next Lil Wayne. They don't say that. But when you're a white guy rapping, you want to be the next Eminem. Wait a minute. I don't want to be Eminem. I want to be Vanilla Ice. Why? Because Vanilla Ice is like a one-hit wonder. He has that Ice Ice Baby song, and it's a one-hit track that is like banging. But no, man, I just see the dude being a very talented dude. He makes like documentary style vlogs about his touring, and that's pretty cool. And right now it's raining and storming outside here in Florida, which I love. And we're doing the podcast real early this time. It's 11 in the morning, and like I said, the reason why Nick isn't on the podcast because his family had family issues. Like, I guess someone died in his family, and I didn't want to pull him away from that, because I understand exactly where the dude's coming from when he said he's not home, he's not available to do a podcast. So if you guys want to post any questions in the comment section below, I'll add them in the next podcast. And I'm working on a video or a podcast today with Lambrani. I don't know if she's done her part yet, but if she has, I can edit it up and we'll do it, because she's going to be technically the first guest on the Raw Talk podcast. And Lambrani, like I said, it's going to be me asking her questions and she's going to answer them, but it's not going to be live on the air. It's just because she doesn't have a web camera or a way to do Google Plus Hangout. Well, I mean, you could do Google Plus Hangout if you used your cell phone or your iPod. You can do it that way, but for the people who ever want to be on the podcast, if you don't have a web camera, you don't want to be live, you can always email me and I will edit up your clip, or you can even just join the Raw Talk podcast and do it with just strictly audio, because you can do it like I'm doing right now. I just turn my web camera off and you can just see the audio. If you just have like a microphone or a way to record audio and you don't want to have your face on the podcast, you can definitely just join the podcast with the audio. It's a way to communicate, guys. I just make these Raw Talk podcasts for you guys because I love to just speak my mind and talk. And if you guys love listening to them, that's cool. If you guys don't like listening to them, that's fine with me. And I'll say this, if you're an AC/DC fan, AC/DC to record a brand new album in 2014 and to go on tour. They're going to do a 40-show tour this year, and they're bringing out new stuff. Do you guys love when older artists like Aerosmith, AC/DC, the Beatles all bring out new music, or do you like hearing just the hits like Back in Black or Dream On or Walk This Way? Do you like just hearing those, or do you actually like them creating new music that is out there? Because as a musician myself, I love creating new music and hearing new music. I don't want to hear just the same, because it does get repetitive hearing Back in Black or Dream On or Walk This Way. Doo-doo. You know, it gets repetitive. Eventually you get sick of the song, or you just get tired of listening to it. And I'm always the type of dude who looks for new music. It doesn't have to be new bands, but it could be old bands that make new music. And I want to say this. I had talked about this in a video. Don't listen to Nicki Minaj's new song. It's called Nicki Minaj, Garbage, Trash. Look it up. I mean, her new song is just garbage and trash. I don't want to say that's what it's called, but that's what it should be called. Nicki Minaj, Garbage and Trash. Just because the song sucks. There's no other explanation that I could get off it. The song's garbage. It's horrible. No one should listen to it. Look at this nigga. That's the name of the song. And it's funny. I didn't even set a timer for this podcast, so I'm just going straight off the top of the dome and just talking to you guys. But like I said, guys, you guys need to check out that song by Wax called Out of My Mind. He does make some really tremendously good music. And with that being said, guys, before this podcast gets super de-duper long, I will definitely talk to you guys next time. But my opinion is the McDonald's employee should have never got fired, because she was doing a good deed. And why would she get fired if she was paying for that bill out of her own pocket? With that being said, I will definitely see you guys in the next Raw Talk podcast. Maybe next week we'll have the NDFX back, or it might have a combination of the NDFX with Lambrani.